Good morning. From Here for You Life Coaching, that's our company. And what I do is I break things down so that people can understand what is really going on and how to navigate and manifest the life of your dreams. Because if you are distracted into things, if you are part of the societal hypnosis of things that happen, you're going to be distracted into another reality. And when you are distracted into another reality, you will not be able to manifest what is yours, what belongs to you, who you are. Okay? The natural gifts that you are supposed to receive, your life path. Okay? Good morning, guys. Good morning, Sarah. Good morning. Good morning. So, we've been talking about God and Mammon. Why? Why have we been talking about God? Isn't that like God and money? Isn't that what that is? Well, it's sort of, kind of, sort of that. It's more the material world and the spiritual world. Okay? So your body is the interface to the material world. Okay? So these things are material. Okay? My glasses are material. So if you're spiritual, do you need glasses? Sure. You're human. Okay? So there's this whole woo woo thing going on, and it's more easily explained. And so I'm going to break it down to you. Okay? Break it down for you. Okay? So this is not about judgment. This is not about saying you need to do this. This is about explaining this one, the human being, and putting it into simple terms so that you can achieve what it is you want to achieve, so you can manifest what you want to manifest, so you can be what you want to be. Okay? And so you can survive that societal hypnosis that keeps pulling you in and enslaving you here. Bob Marley called it mental slavery. Good morning. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, guys. Bob Marley called it mental slavery for a reason. Why? Because it holds you hostage here. What holds you hostage? Well, grief, guilt, shame, doubt, and they're all rooted in fear. Okay, so let's continue to talk about this. So there's the body and the spirit. Okay, now you're not your body, you're not your name, you're that spirit that lives in here. That's the spiritual part of this. Okay, this has nothing to do with church, although church is a place that they mention these things. They just don't teach it like this. So now that we understand, and if we come from the standpoint that you are a spiritual being in here, this energy in here, and that is separate from the body, then we can say, well, the body is our vessel. The body is what we use to get around. And the reason we need to take care of our bodies is so that it lasts long. Because the body and the spirit oppose each other. Oh, how does that happen? Your body is subject to the material world. That means it's going to go one day because everything in the physical world deteriorates. Everything in the physical world expires. Some ruins last longer than others. Some are preserved longer than others. But eventually everything crumbles. Everything is subjected to what we call time. So if you want to call it time, Chronos, Saturn, Satan, it is the opposer. It's the physical opposing the spiritual. So when we look at the spiritual, we go, oh, we have a life path. And our life path unfolds like this for us. Okay? If it's unobstructed by fear and doubt. Because you hear people say, well, manifestation, you can manifest, but you just can't fear or doubt. But what happens is you get pulled into the physical reality after a while. Why? Well, because there's a society, because there's a calendar, because there's a clock, because you are bound to the physical world, because you need a job, because you have a career, because you have. So if you don't practice becoming separate of these things, if you don't practice becoming the observer, if you don't practice taking yourself out of the box and being able to look back into the box and observe and go, ah, I see. Then what happens? Then you let the system scare you. Then you let the system put doubt in your mind. Why is that? Because it projects ideas onto you, and you are a highly impressionable being. It's because of your intelligence. Don't confuse education with intelligence. In this context, I'm talking about you were born with infinite intelligence in here. Education is something that people go, okay, well, we're going to get you ready for this occupation, and for this, we're going to take all of your intelligence and we're going to focus it on this. And now you're studying nursing. And now you're going to be a student of nursing because you are going to be a nurse. Very few people enjoy the luxury of going to college to become intelligent, educated human beings. They go to college to learn a particular trade, a particular occupation, for a particular career. But what happens is you begin to identify with that. You spend so much time in there, right? You've invested time, you've invested money, you've invested homework, you've invested hours and hours and hours and hours of your life. And now this, whatever that is for you, whatever the degree is, whatever, becomes your God. Why? Because it brings you money. It pays for your house. It pays for your car. It pays for your children's clothes, their food, sends them to college, sends them to private school, sends them to. Then it becomes your God. And when I say your God, I mean this is what you believe in. This is why in the Bible, okay, whether you believe in God or you don't believe in God, either way you're a believer. Let's establish that. But in the Bible, Jesus said, okay, the kingdom is within, number one. Number two, Jesus said, I will be with you until the end of these systems of things. That's the literal translation of I will be with you until the end of the world. Esoterically, the world does not mean earth. Esoterically, the world means systems, man-made systems, because you can serve God or you can serve man. It's that simple. So serving God and serving Mammon just means, are you going to rely on this in here? Because this is the spirit. This belongs to God. God is your co-creator inside of you. God lives in you. You are born of God energy, of love energy. You ever see an angry baby? I say that almost every day. Okay? But now there are systems of things. And this is the literal translation of what so many religious people get wrong. Because they don't study the esoteric end of it. Okay, they're not studying the etymology of their words. They're not studying the original translations. Basically what I call Sunday school knowledge. But these systems of things are set up by people. Okay? The military industrial complex, the medical industrial complex, the scientific industrial complex. That in itself is a religion. The financial industrial complex, the media industrial complex. These are influences in human life. So what happens is your reality begins to shift away from who you are, and you begin to identify with something. When you identify with something that is not you, because you're not your body, you're not your name, you're that spirit that lives in here. But when you begin to identify, oh, I'm the doctor, I'm the attorney, I'm the businessman, I'm the carpenter. When you start to identify in that way, you begin to see yourself like that. Is that God-made or man-made? It's man-made. So when you begin to see yourself like that, what are you subjected to? You're subjected to the physical world. You believe in the physical world. And you cannot serve the physical world and the spiritual at the same time. So these systems of things that Jesus said he would be with us until the end of existed long, long, long ago in his time. They're still here. They will always be here. The systems are not going to go away. They just change over time. So when Jesus said he would be with you, he wasn't kidding. He will always be with you through everything in here. God is in here. Now, if you choose to say Jesus, if you choose to say God, if you choose to say source, if you choose to say universe, I'm talking about your life force. Okay, but we say superconscious because we don't want to offend people who are not. Yesterday there was a comment on here. He goes, "You're a believer." And I think what he meant was you're religious. Okay, because they call religious people believers. Well, guess what? If you're a human being, you're a believer in your subconscious. Okay? So, now that we've established some parameters, take a look at the body and the spirit. The spirit supersedes the body all the time, every day. 365 days a year, your spirit has power over everything physical. You hear people talk about the law of attraction, this and that, right? Okay. So, what they're really talking about is you attract through your spirit everything that belongs to you. Your life path, your natural abilities, your talents, your skill sets, your natural skill sets, things you are inclined to do. Part of it is genetic. So when you see someone who has a knack for being a carpenter, and then you find out, oh, his dad's a carpenter, oh, that's where he learned it from, and then you go, oh, his grandfather was a carpenter, oh, his great-grandfather was a carpenter? Ah, it got passed down the family tree. You see? When I was younger, I saw this commercial, and it was on television, and the commercial said something, it went something like, my grandfather drove the milk truck, my dad drove the milk truck, and now I'm driving the milk truck. And I thought to myself, wow, this family has no ambition. But I was in my 20s and stupid, right? Because it was the way I was thinking, and I had to change my thinking. Let's say it another way. I had to change my beliefs in my subconscious. Now, sometimes education unlocks some of that. Okay, it unlocks it because we learn something new, then we establish new beliefs in our subconscious based on what we learn. But when I learned that epigenetics was a thing, when I learned that, oh, genetically things are passed down like that. And what was really surprising was when I owned a horse for 11 years, I learned from my trainer that if you train a horse like really, 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 really good, when that horse gives birth, the babies will be smarter than if the horse wasn't trained. It's the same way in human beings. What you train your children for, okay, up until the age of 7, because before that, they're not even a part of consciousness. They're sponges. They're just taking in data. If you want to look at it like a computer, they take in data up until 7 years old. They're not even a part of their own hard drive yet. They're accumulating data. So the conscious, subconscious, superconscious works like this. The conscious mind is your operating system. The subconscious is the hard drive where the programs are stored, the keyword programs. The superconscious over here is the network we're all plugged into. It's called awareness. And this awareness is God. This is eternal. This energy in here is eternal. It cannot be extinguished. Einstein told you that. Everything in the universe is energy. So now when we come from the energy perspective, or that understanding, and we stand under that principle, now we go, oh, okay, body, spirit. Oh, my body will get old. Oh, so this is eternal. I don't have to fear death. No, you do not have to fear death at all. But, okay, here's your big fat but, okay, I'm just trying to be funny and not to be too intense, but we enjoy what we have. We enjoy this life. What do we enjoy the most in life? People, our families, our friends, our loved ones, if you will. That's what we miss the most. You're not going to miss your car when you die. You're not going to miss the house. You're not going to miss those things. When you're sick and you're in the hospital, you're not thinking about your car and your house. No, you're thinking about your loved ones, especially the ones that come to visit you. So place your focus on things you love and people you love. That's all I do. And my clients become people I love. Because I spend time with them. I give them extra time. I give them extra time to turn on the light bulb here so that they actually see through the societal hypnosis that's going on. Because you're being programmed here, then over here, then over here, then over here, constantly. It's not just about social media. Social media is a tool. You can use it for good or bad. It's like a kitchen knife, right? Good or bad. It's like a car. You can use it like a weapon if you want to, okay? But the spirit and the body, or God and Mammon, or the spiritual and the physical, are independent of each other, yet the physical influences you, okay, let's use that word, influences you to see yourself as just this physical body, and that's it. I have no power, that's it. And then you are led through the maze. What's the maze? Well, you go to Costco, you buy in bulk, then you eat in bulk, then you get sick, and then, oh, okay, go to HMO, and you go in a circle. New Year's, oh, we celebrate New Year's, fireworks. Okay, February, oh, Valentine's Day. March, oh, we gotta wear green. April, oh, we have an Easter celebration. It goes on, and you go on this merry-go-round, on this mouse wheel, in a state of hypnosis, because you don't see You look, but you don't see. In the Bible, it says that, right? And I know Christians who have no idea what that means. They think it's believing in God. It's going in the kingdom. It's going within. Thank you, thank you. Who did that? Thank you, guys. Thoughts on drinking breast milk as an adult? Couldn't hurt you. Okay. Thank you for your comment. Anyway, we needed a little comedy. Thank you. Yeah, you look but you don't see. You hear but you don't. You listen but you don't hear. You look but you don't see. You listen but you don't hear. Why? Because of the illusion. Okay, you're living in a synthetic reality. This reality is constructed. God made man. Man created this reality. God is in here. God is inside. Yet there are systems, belief systems that lead you out there. There is no out there out there. There's only nature and other things from other people's in here. That's all that's out there. God created everything. Everything in the universe is intelligent. Whether you call it God or universe or whatever. But when you seek, you will find, right? What does that mean? That does not mean to go into the neighborhood and go house to house looking for what you want. You could get in trouble for that. Okay? It's in here. Close your distractors like this, okay? Do your 10 minutes of stillness and be with God. If you're too busy to do that, too busy, you are under hypnosis. You cannot separate yourself from the physical world. You have identified yourself with the physical world. This is why you cannot see. Because in order to see, you need to go within, in the kingdom. Close your distractors and disconnect and be with God. And you will start to experience the expansion, the expansiveness of all that is. Because it's in here. Your eyes absorb data. That data gets put together. That together becomes a perception, how you perceive the world. But before it becomes a perception, in your subconscious, it becomes belief. So what do you believe? Your beliefs form your paradigm. Your paradigm forms your actions. Your actions give you your results. This is why they say, knock and the door shall open. Where do you knock? In here, in the kingdom. Jesus taught you that. Where do you seek? In here, in the kingdom. Where do you listen? In here. You don't listen out there. There is no out there out there. There's only nature out there and something constructed from someone else's in here. And if they can, you can. Over time, society has built very powerful institutions that have convinced you of certain things. Okay, some of them are perceived to be true and real and necessary or acceptable, however you want to say that. But you begin to identify it. That's where people are misled. Because we're human beings, because we're so intelligent, because we identify, we go, okay, I'm the football fan. I wear the jersey. I bought the flag. I have the helmet. I watch the game every Sunday. I'm a football fan. There you go. Okay. I'm the doctor, right? Do whatever doctors do. But when you become independent of what you do, okay? Because I teach executives. One of them was this attorney. And I always speak of her because I'm so proud of her. And when she came to me, she was terrified. Tops in her field. Working for one of the largest landowners in Hawaii. Tops in her field. Brilliant woman. But this is the problem that professionals have. At a certain point, she goes, everybody refers to me as the attorney. Everybody looks at me as the attorney. Everybody just talk, they talk to me just as the attorney. What about me? And I was like, yeah. She got it, right? She got it. There was so much attention paid. Okay, so when you pay attention, it costs you. Your time is your life. When you pay attention to something, it's a transaction. It's a spiritual transaction. So what are you paying attention to? What are you paying for? You paying for the comedy on TV? You paying for the drama series? What are you paying for? Yeah, you're paying with money, but you're paying with your life. You're giving your life to that. Everybody's different. It's not a judgment thing. I'm not here to say something's wrong, this is wrong, that's right. No, it's up to you. This is your time. This is your life. This belongs to you. This is your gift. But if you're spending your gift in fear, if you're spending your gift feeling guilty, if you're spending your gift being shamed, if you're spending your gift being angry, just know that you have been conditioned and that this goes in your subconscious around and around and around until you fix it. That's all. Is it difficult? No, it's not difficult. So now we're hearing this manifestation, right? Manifestation. It's not magic. It's your subconscious. You're a human being. Time to wake up. Time to snap out of the hypnosis. But we have systems in place that will tell you, well, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to follow this, you need to follow this. Okay. You need to go to the grocery store. You need to go to the doctor. You need entertainment. But separating yourself, okay, your spirit, from your body, the interface to the physical world, and recognizing that your power is in here and not here and not here is where the abundance comes from, is where the good things come from, is where God comes from. There's a reason why Jesus sits at the right hand of the Father. It symbolizes the right hemisphere of your brain. Creativity, imagination, intuition. All of these things are right brain activities. Bonding with people, your families, relationships, okay? What lives on the left side? Ego, logic. Because logically, and logic represents the physical world. Oh, this is not logical. This should not happen. And then it happens, and then what do? You go, well, coincidence. I got lucky. If you believe in God, then you know. If you believe in God, or let's say higher self, higher intelligence, universe, insert belief system here. But if you believe in God and that there's something bigger than you, that there is the macrocosm that you are the microcosm of, then you go, then you understand. And you've lived through so many times where things happen and there's no logical explanation. And this is why Moses had the journey from the left to the right. It's the migration from the ego over to the promised land. The right hemisphere of the brain is the promised land. That is your choice. Love you. Yeah. I would talk to someone who specializes in natural medicine. But it's your choice. At the end of the day, it's your choice. My best friend came down with cancer, and he chose not to be a lab rat in the medical industrial complex. Now, I'm not making any derogatory comments about the system. I'm just saying it exists, and very few things cure. Many things treat. If systems cured, there would be no need for the system. It would expire and outdate itself. Everything is in place for a reason. Do you need to hate the system? No, it's not about hating the system. It's about circumventing the system. How do you circumvent the system? In here. Okay? Because you can attract everything you want, in addition to everything you are. But the everything you are happens first. When you learn to do that, you can do the on-demand thing. I put up a video on 12 years of affirmations that I did. But that was years ago. That was from 2007. It's been over 20 years. So this is what it looks like. Okay. And this, all this is instructing your subconscious to do stuff. That's all. Okay? Because your conscious mind is only 5% of your life. 95% is your subconscious. Is it difficult to do? No. How do you do it? Affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization. If you put my name in any browser, any AI, and put teaching method after it, it will give you all the answers. And then you just tune in here. You don't need to hire me. I'm not here to sell you something. I'm here to wake people up, because more people need to wake up. More people need to understand that they need to take responsibility for your life, for their life. Responsibility is not a bad thing. It's not a bad word. I don't even use discipline very much, because people think, oh, discipline, oh, that's hard. Because when we hear the word discipline, we think what? Military, parenting, right? What was done to us? I mean, stuff like that, right? Discipline. Oh, ouch. Okay? It's just repetition. The subconscious learns in repetition. But once you install it in the subconscious as a program, as a belief is a thought you keep thinking. It repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats. Then what? It's automatic. Do you need to learn to brush your teeth every morning? No. Do you need to learn to drive the car so you can go to work every morning? No, not at all. Why? Because it's in your subconscious. It's committed to memory. Your body knows how to do it better than you. Okay? Body, spirit. Body, spirit. Your body has learned this process. Your body learned how to cook. Your body learned how to write. And it does it all from memory. So 5% of your life is the new stuff. This much. Okay? In this synthetic reality of ours. People stop trusting inner spiritual guidance. That's what goes wrong. You stop listening to God and you start listening to man. Okay? God made versus man made, physical. Then you start putting your trust in the education, in the diploma, in the degree, in the profession. And then you start putting your faith in these things. Why? Because it's a natural human response. Oh, I have faith in my job. Why? Because my job brings me money. That feeds my family. I'm grateful for my job. Okay. But what about God? My first mentor used to ask me about that all the time. What about God? What about God? And I was in my late 20s and I was a wise ass and I said, what about God? And he just told me, you'll get it one day, you'll get it. And then one day I got it. And the light bulb went on and I'm like, oh, okay. Because at that point I had done affirmations for so long, things were just coming like this. I would write something down and in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it would happen. And I was like, whoa, this is powerful. But in order to do this, you need to condition the subconscious first. It's like going to the gym. You want to be strong. Okay, you need to condition your muscles first. Then when you stay out of the gym for a while and then you go back to the gym, muscle memory happens and boom, muscles come back. So what happens in the synthetic reality is you start defining reality through the institutions that are influencing you. Oh, I feel sick. I better go to the doctor. Oh, I have problems. I need to go to the therapist. Or I need to go to whatever. Instead of going into the kingdom, closing your eyes, being still, and receiving answers on what to do. This is why when you're driving down the street and you get that idea to turn right and you dismiss it with your ego on the left hemisphere, right? And then you get stuck in the traffic jam. What do? You go, I knew I should have turned over there. Because you did know. You instinctively knew. How many times has that happened to you? Okay, if you're a woman, it's happened to you almost every day. Why? Because you're designed to be a mama bear. But you have a supercomputer compared to men that just have a regular computer. You have more RAM than we do. You have a larger hard drive than we do. You have a faster processor than we do. And what happens when things go wrong? Oh, then the amygdala really acts up and starts feeding you the negative what ifs at high speed. Oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if this? What if this? What if this? What if this? Then you become emotional because why? It's frustrating. Then what do you have to do? You have to cry. Why? Because I need to purge. Because I need to get rid of it. I need to get rid of all of this. Too much overload, burnout. And then what? Then you feel brand new. And then it starts over again. Why does it keep happening? Because it's in your subconscious. It keeps going around and around playing the same thing, same program. So Dr. Joe Dispenza, right, talks about it this way. He said, you have all these problems over here and yesterday. Then you wake up today, all the unresolved problems start activating. The minute you get up, you start thinking of everything you have to do, all the problems, whatever you're living through. The next day, same thing, okay? And you take these days from day to 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 dead. Because one day, we're all going to go. We don't know when. Today might be my day. So if this is the last time I see you, I wish you love from Hawaii. Okay, I'm not planning on it. I'm just saying, nobody knows. Okay. There were tons of people in Japan, and I witnessed the tidal wave come right across the freeway. And many of those people had no idea. but they're eternal in here. You are eternal in here. This is temporary. Okay? It's subjected to Father Time, to Chronos, to Saturn, to Satan, to all of those things. However you want to look at it, however you want to say it. But Satan isn't making things go wrong in your life. You do that. God does not punish. You do that. I do that too. Okay, so we do that. God doesn't punish. We do. We make bad decisions that get us in bad places. And then what? Well, then we have to figure out what the opposite is and get us out so we can go the other way. So if it's too painful over here, guess what? We start moving over here. We gravitate to this side. And vice versa. So if you're serving the system, if you're serving the hierarchy of the system, if you're climbing the corporate ladder, if your whole world exists on, getting promoted and whatever, believing in the corporation, and you're a corporate whatever, corporate man, corporate woman, whatever it is. Now you've put your faith in Mammon, because that is material. That's not spiritual. That's not who you are. Okay, to serve God is to live from faith, compassion, truth, service, inner qualities, okay? Inner alignment, spiritual awareness, and freedom. Freedom is in here. You have to be free here first before you get free here. You have to detach here first, in here first, before you can detach here. You have to be good in here before you get good over here. Okay, if you're having a problem with someone, if it's a relationship issue, all you have to do is change in here. Change how you react in here, and that person will change out here. That's how change is created, because everything out here reacts to everything in here. When this one changes, that one changes, guarantee. I never understood that. When I was in my 20s, my first mentor drilled it into me. He goes, no, you got to change and then people will change. You got to change and people will change. And I was like, okay, well, I guess nothing's going to change, right? Because I didn't see it. He tried to make me see it. I didn't see it. Then I got a little older, got into my early 30s. Then I saw it. Then I go, oh, that's what he was talking about. And then I started changing the way I did things. I started changing the way I thought about things. And then the doors began to open. Good jobs began to come. I was working for $5 an hour. Good jobs came. And then I met good people along the way. So God brings everything to us through others. So put people first. I put people first. I don't put money first. I give my time to people, especially people that become my clients, because they're investing in me. They're investing in them, but they're investing in me. Everything works both ways. Everything is transactional in the universe. A transaction is an agreement. A transaction is anything you agree on with a fellow human being you join. Okay? It's a contract. It's a spiritual, energetic contract. Do you agree with something? Okay, you've joined. Sometimes you don't know what you believe because it takes something to activate that belief. And then all of a sudden inside, it's like, oh, yeah, that's right. I do like that. Or I don't like that. Ah, you've identified a belief. Because there's so much data in here. You're a supercomputer. There is so much data in here. You're so highly intelligent. You have no idea how much memory is in here. People think they have bad memories. Why? Well, they watch movies that tease people about it. They watch television programs that make them doubt themselves. They're scrolling. They're using this one. They're using these things. They're looking, oh, yeah, well, he has a bad memory. Yeah, I think I have a bad memory. You see? That's how it works. You become conditioned. And this is why you cannot choose Mammon over God, over Allah, over Jesus Christ, over Yahweh, over whoever you believe. I'm not here to tell you what to believe. But this is why you cannot choose the material. The material will not serve you. The material will not give you answers. You can consult books. You can consult information. You can consult other data. But you have the answers for you in here. God gave that to you. You were born with infinite intelligence. Don't confuse that with education. Like I said, education is taking your intelligence and say, okay, here, we're focusing here for this. When I dropped out of college, I was very ashamed of myself. And I felt it was the right thing to do because the dream job happened and I got an offer. And I was like, okay, I'm leaving school. And I got a lot of respect in school. When I took the job, I got no respect at the job. So it was insult to injury, but it's what I wanted to do. It was in accordance with my dreams. So I left school. And I went to my mentor's house, my uncle, my mom's youngest brother, and I said, Uncle, I dropped out of college. I'm sorry. He just looked over at me. He said, that's the smartest thing you ever did. I did not understand at the time what he meant. Now I know what he meant. So the professionals that I work with, right, they're like this. Because this is what you have to be the CEO. This is what you have to be the professional in your field. This is how you have to look at things. This represents the left hemisphere of your brain. This represents logic, education, expertise, the material world, Mammon. God lives in the right hemisphere. Jesus sits on the right hand of the Father. Jesus said, cast your net to the right side for a reason. Moses traveled through the desert to get to the promised land on the right. It's all in here. You're not going to learn this in Sunday school. But when you start paying attention to this one, when you start paying attention to your crazy ideas and your crazy thoughts, that's what brought me everything. Everything. And in the beginning, I was like, oh, wow. Yeah, it does set you free when you realize, right, Sarah? Sarah's my client. Sarah's one of my clients. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. Because you need to know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Okay? But here's a caveat, okay? The truth will upset you for a while because you're going to look at these systems and you're going to look at these things and you're going to go, how could I have been so stupid to just blindly follow? Because you were led. We like to follow. It's easier than leading. Leading takes responsibility. Leading takes proactivity. Leading takes confidence. But you're going to find that when you do your affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization, the vocalization that we do snaps people out of it in 3 months. They're good. And they never go back. If they go back because of choice. But they know how to get out. I'll give you an idea. Okay? If you're talking about work-life balance, for you people that have careers, okay? Work-life balance. 50 percentile. Work, okay? Life. And this is what I had to show my attorney, and to show all my professionals this. Okay? So now this is 50%, right? Work, life, okay? Balance is the key word. So now you're going over here, you have 52% work. Why? Oh, because you brought some work home. You're answering emails at home. You're answering text messages at home. Okay, now this 52% grows very easily. Why? Because it's the majority of your life now. Oh, 55%. Oh, guess what? Now I missed the gym. I didn't go to the gym this week. Why? Oh, because. Now work has grown to 55%. That 55 turns into 60 overnight. Why? Because 55% of your focus is work. What you focus on intensifies. Now what? Now, because you feel, okay, feel is the key word. You feel you have to do this. The corporation is not asking you to do this. The job is not asking you to do this. You're doing it voluntarily because you feel that you can get ahead. But it's working against you. Why? Because it's taking your life. So now you have 60%. Now when you go home, you only have time to cook dinner and tuck the kids in, and pretty soon they're missing their mom or they're missing their dad. And you're in the same house. But you're in a different world. So how do we fix this? Affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization. Mostly the vocalization. Then when you wake up, snap out of your trance, because the vocalization pulls you into the moment so that you can see the truth. Then you can be free. And then you go, oh, okay, it's just a job. They're not going to fire me if I go to the gym. They're not going to fire me if I don't do tons of extra work at home. Oh, it's not required. Oh, okay, whatever, right? And now you're back to 50%. This is work-life balance. What happens when you let it slip like this? My professionals talk to me like this. They say, oh, it's been really hectic at work. It's getting really busy. Like this week was really busy. You know what they're telling me? They're telling me they allowed this to go like this. And my question is, did you go to the gym? Did you get some me time? Did you go to the beach? Did you go to the mountains? Did you do what did you do the hike? Did you do? And the answer is, oh, no, not really, because I wanted to catch up. I wanted to get ahead. You're not getting ahead. You're burning your life, your time. Your time is your life, okay? So you need to push back, 50%. It's a balancing act, and it is necessary, okay? I had to work with some very, I want to say, toxic environments. And every day I went back to my office because I had my companies. I only had 2 companies when I did this. 2 companies and then 4 companies in the second place. But I had to go back and detox. I had to go back and shake it off. And I had to sit back in my office chair. And I had to close my eyes. And I had to meditate. And I had to say the Lord's Prayer. And I had to thank God for being with me. Okay. So as we do this series this week, tomorrow, I'm going to talk about Psalm 23 so that you can really understand what it really means. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. What does it really mean? Okay, we're going to talk about that tomorrow. But when you serve the Lord, you serve the law. If you change the word Lord to law every time you read a Bible, every time you read a Religious book. What is the law? Natural law. Natural law. Natural order. We went over the 12 universal laws the other day, right? Natural order, the natural order of things. Everything in the universe is done by order. This is why systems love the chaos that they put you into. Why? Because it takes you out of order. If you're out of order, you're like this. You're like this. Okay, you're that boat with no rudder that's going like this, going like, because you're out of order. Okay, there's no organization. Okay, but life is organized. Nature is organized. Every living system is organized. Every living system has an order. If you've ever had an ant farm, you know this. It's a natural order. But your natural order keeps getting pushed over here, pushed over here, pushed over here. Because it makes you fear. It makes you doubt. Doubt and fear keep you from your life path. Your life path unfolds like this. Okay? Like this. Life doesn't happen to you like this. If you think life happens to you like this, like you're dodging stuff, you know, like that, you're suffering from victim mentality. But the system makes you feel this. It makes me feel that sometimes. And I have to stop. And I have to take a deep breath. And I have to breathe. And I have to remind myself that there's a separation between in here and out here. Okay? And everything in here is in control of everything out here. Why is that? Because of the law of attraction. Like attracts like. If you start identifying with the physical, guess who's in charge? The physical. Guess who governs your life? The physical. Guess what makes you sick? The physical. Does this make you sick? No. This heals you. This is your salvation. This is your natural energy. Love. Love energy. That's why there's no angry babies. So what do you need to do? You need to turn on, I'm talking about love. I'm talking about you, your default, who you are in here when you're not angry, when you're not upset, when you're not full of anxiety, when you're not full of guilt, shame, disappointment, okay, worry, irritation. When you're not those things, who are you? That's who I'm talking about. That's your default. That's your God. That's where your guidance comes from. And that's what will give you everything in life. It will give you who you are and what's meant for you. Thank you, Manuel. Take care, you guys. Thank you. I Cooper. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Take care, you guys. Okay? Have a good day and live from in here. Okay? Pay attention to those crazy ideas you get. Okay? It's your warning system. It's God going, hey, over here, or no, don't do that. Not the right time. Okay? Pay attention to that. Okay? So we're in Honolulu, Hawaii. I'm Junior Kekuewa Jr. from Here For You Life Coaching. Thank you, Miss Sunshine. Thank you, guys. Thank you, family. Nice to see you guys this morning. Thank you, thank you. And we shall see you guys tomorrow from Hawaii, every morning at 7 a.m. Hawaii time. Okay, we're going to continue. And tomorrow we're going to talk about Psalm 23 and what it really means. Okay? Your pastors aren't going to tell you this. We'll discuss it tomorrow on the live.